I've got a great video to share with you. What's happening right now is I'm going to tell you how you can become a digital nomad by working remotely. I want to share my journey of transitioning from a fixed location 9-to-5 job through to being financially self-sufficient with remote work. Something to consider is one large income may be less achievable immediately. I believe it is safer and offers you more stability to take at least 3 smaller paths, spreading your bets, learning and being open to new opportunities and ideas. If you find one of these paths is unsuccessful, swap it out and try something new. Keep experimenting. If you find something works, go deep into it. I'm going to be transparent with you about my work, because using my situation as a real life example is a great way for you to get the best value and understanding to help you on your journey to become a digital nomad and start your own adventure. Firstly, you should have a trickle of money coming in or a good financial buffer. The amount of money you determine that to be is entirely dependent on whether you are riding a bike around with a tent or driving around in a Winnebago. That's totally your call. My last fixed location job that ended 2 months ago, I tried and failed to transition into a remote job. I went into my last company as a 3D CAD designer in the architectural field. This particular industry, along with the quantity of ongoing, fast-paced communication, would not migrate. I wasn't disappointed, but it was certainly an opportunity I had to investigate. Several months before I was to leave, I approached the management of this small company, directly and openly about what I wanted. I researched and gave them examples of how communication was possible, not only by telephone, but by work management software such as Wrike, and utilising timekeeping software such as Harvest, both of which I recommend. I was honest about what I thought wouldn't work and what alternative tasks I might be able to do to lighten the load at their end. Beyond the practicalities of transitioning your current role into remote work, it is also very important to consider who else you are asking to change elements of their working day. These considerations also need to include the fact that some companies and people have done things that way for a very long time. People are scared and often uninterested in change, especially if they see someone else getting all of the benefit out of it. This is where the challenge of the awareness of others and their ego comes in. Although this opportunity with my previous employers did not work out long term, I did work remotely for a transitional period until my replacement was in place. What I learned is that working with a traditional 9-to-5 office still tethered me during those hours, even remotely, to answer urgent questions and inquiries. Even if I'd cleared my workload before the office hours started, I would not choose to continue this remotely, as it was not serving me the balance of work and life that I need and want. If I hadn't anticipated and planned the entire time for my last job to not continue, I would have been a fool. Naturally, I looked at trading my time online at peopleperhour.com and freelancer.com, but I felt I needed a change away from the engineering industry and into something I'd indulged in with small success a couple of times before. I've owned and run 2 companies previously, and one of the areas I particularly enjoyed was the maths and creative of marketing and media. So for over a year, I've been consuming knowledge and doing tests in this field. To succeed, you have to actually do something. So I started by building our weaintnohippies.com website. This is where all of our content is available in one stream. I'm talking about our Instagram, our Facebook page, Pinterest and the rest. And now I'm starting to look at Izzy's already active online shop at diamondsandrust.eu, where she sells her amazing sterling silver handmade jewellery. The websites are only the beginning of my understanding. It's now transitioned through to what engages people and why. Simultaneously to this, I've opened an opportunity that may have not been possible had I not started working remotely in the first place. A really helpful trend has started for me where I'm able to use a spare desk in people's offices or workshops and warehouses as a space for me to work for either a couple of days or weeks. This scenario has played out 50% of the time, and I originally sought it out to feed off the energy of others to help speed up my work. Another benefit it has brought me is meeting and talking with lots of different people. With this, you have tons of opportunity to discover where you can add value to people or their business with either a short-term or long-term gig. This hot desking, as I think some call it, has led me to a potentially long-term remote position in my newly transitioned online industry. To ensure I have the best opportunity to succeed, I'm fully engaging my Nomad function and driving to be around the company for the next 3 months. This is so I can interact face to face, put in place what I need, and create a full in-depth understanding of the company. If I was only building a website for them or just creating an online advertising campaign, I would not go to the company. I would do it totally remotely. But with this particular work, my involvement requires more than that. Remember, your advantage with a digital nomad lifestyle is your reduced living costs. Use this to your advantage to build your work, whatever it may be, for the long term. Short-term gigs are great, but I advise everyone to think long-term and give your self-sufficient lifestyle the best opportunity to be a success. So to wrap this up, the 3 most important things to remember are: 1. Save a ton of money before you quit your job to give you a good buffer. Don't rely on friends and family to bail you out if your engine falls out of your home on wheels. You need to take care of your own shit. 2. Clearly understand what your value is to people, and you've got to know that you can own that. 3. Be and remain humble. This will help your most valuable life skill of remaining flexible. Being agile with where you are and what you do will serve you incredibly well by leading you down paths you would have never imagined. I'll share the next part of my journey in the months ahead as I learn more about the evolution of my journey into becoming a digital nomad. Peace! Cut.